Hello and welcome to your Friday Flow session with me, Caitlin. Today we're going to be taking nice little bit of time to slow down and do what we need, do what the body needs. Everything at the moment is moving really fast again, so this is your 15 minutes, your permission to stop, slow down, shake off the week, move into the weekend and give yourself just a little bit of space to find some relaxation. Everything that we do today should be feeling good, so if I suggest anything that doesn't work for you, please do adapt it, please make it work for you. Like I said, it should all feel nice. We should find some relaxation through this, as well as shaking off some other bits from the week that we don't need anymore. And as always, you know I always say this, please make sure that you are in some comfy clothes so that you can move freely and comfortably. Make sure that you've got enough space around you that you're not going to bang into anything. Make that work for you, whatever that is. Your space might not look for mine, but still make sure you're being safe, and make sure that you've got some water with you as well. We will be moving quite slowly today, so we're not going to be burning up a massive sweat, but it's still great to stay hydrated, so do make sure you're drinking your water throughout. And lastly, as always, any music that I use today, Exim do not own, and we intend no copyright by using it. Great, now all of that is out of the way, let's get started on our session. Before we start moving, there's one more thing, and it should be a nice thing, don't worry. I would like you to please join me in finding one nice smell to bring to your space. I couldn't say it then. One nice smell to bring to your space. So for me today, I've got my little prop here. That is going to be a candle. I really like candles. I think that they can definitely set the mood. And as soon as we're trying to relax, try and find a smell. That could be a spray, it could be a particular flower, absolutely anything that brings you comfort and that brings you joy and relaxation. So that might be something lavender based, for example. Today mine is going to be nice warm cinnamony smell because I love cinnamon. If you're lighting a candle or using anything that needs a flame to light it, please make sure that you've got an adult with you, and make sure you're being safe as well. Make sure it's near nothing that it will get caught on or anything like that, and make sure you keep an eye on it and not leave the room. Set health and safety out of the way as always. Right, let's move into our space together. So make sure you've got a little bit of room around you, like I said. And today we're just going to focus a little bit on some slow, gentle movement, like I said, and a little bit of self-massage as well. So we're going to start that today with our hands, especially if we've been writing a lot, or especially if we've been at a desk or on a computer or on our phones. We're always using our hands, and there can be so much tension built up in our hands. So just giving them a little bit of a rub. I'm going for the centre of my hand first, and I'm just alternating between the two. And then working your way down your fingers, giving them a little pull as well, as always nice. Any tender parts, you might want to hang around there a little bit longer. Good. And then not forgetting the bit in between your finger and thumb as well. Always have a lot of tension there. And moving on to the next hand as well. And I'm going through this quite quickly today, but you might want to spend a little bit longer on this, so please do take this and do it in the time that you want to. Alright, next I'm going to interlock the fingers, and I'm just going to give them a little bit of a shake, bringing that into the wrists a little bit as well, mobilising the hands. Good. Doing whatever you need, it doesn't need to look like me. Giving them a bit of a shake. Good, just releasing that tension if there is any there. Breath is really useful with this. I always mention the breath, but it is such a powerful tool. Good, and separating the hands and just giving them a bit of a shake as well. Lovely. And we're just going to work up one arm, so just padding through and massaging. It's really nice to use your fingers and the heel of your hand in conjunction rather than being a pokey. It's quite a nice overall massage that hits a higher amount of surface, so it's not as pokey, it's not uncomfortable, If it's uncomfortable, then shift it, change it so that it works for you. It should feel nice, like I said before. Working up to the shoulder, don't forget underneath the arm. I know we don't want to touch our armpits, but sometimes you need to. Keep going, shifting onto the other arm. Still not forgetting to breathe. We should be smelling all those nice smells that we've just released into the room if you've joined me with a little bit of aromatherapy today. Cinnamon to me is definitely a wintry smell, so that's why I put it today, because I'm feeling the nice winter vibes, the coziness, the warmth of the cinnamon. It always makes me feel like I'm ready to snuggle up in the evening. And again, not forgetting about the underneath of the arm, working up to the shoulders, and then we're just going to work into the traps here. And again, I'm working with this fingers and heel of the hand, so I've got quite a nice pushing motion here. Should feel really good in the shoulders. We often hold a lot of tension in our shoulders, so really working into that. And swapping over. Good. And like I said, you can spend as long or as little as you want here. Good, and then we're just going to bring this up and into the neck. I'm just going to give my neck a little bit of a massage. Sometimes we can stick our head forward, looking down a little bit too much, and there can be a little bit of tension there. So being delicate because it's our neck, but still just giving it a little bit of a rub, drawing some heat into it and massaging it slightly with my fingers. Rather than doing a squeezing motion here, that's quite intense for a small area. I'm just using my fingers to gently encourage some release in my neck, working that down towards my shoulders. Good. Let's shake the arms out. And let's just continue working through the neck now. Encouraging a little bit of movement. We're just going to do some slow circles round. And I'm nice and loose in the chest, and I'm loose in the back as well. We're just going to be mixing up some movement and some self-massage, coming back to the centre. And let's go the other way, so looping round. And again, nice and loose in the back. Bending the knees if we want to come forward to release. Not forgetting to breathe. Good, coming back to the centre. Good, we're just going to squeeze those shoulders up to the ears and release them down. Good, with a nice shake. Let's do that one more time. Drawing them up, squeezing them up. Breathing in and breathing out, shaking it off. Lovely. Let's have a nice roll down to release the spine a little bit. Tucking the chin into the chest, rolling down, relaxing the arms, loose, bent knees. Giving a bit of a wiggle, a bit of a shake if you want to. And bending the knees, rolling up, sliding those shoulder blades down the back. Let's do that one more time. If anywhere's tricky, spending a little bit longer there. You want to have a gentle shift, please do. Focusing on working out any tension rather than creating it. And bend the knees, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Nice. Good. Giving the shoulders a bit of a shake. Let's continue working further down the body now. So we're going to encourage some heat into the belly. Don't worry, we're not going to be doing any sit-ups today. And I'm just using the palms of my hands. I'm just giving them a good old rub in both directions. This can be quite a delicate area, so we're not going to attack and be massaging it. We're just going to encourage some heat, some shift, get some energy, some flow into all of our organs. There's lots of stuff that happens here. Good, and then we're just going to bring that around to the sides as well, having a good little shift into the hips, onto the side of the body, and then I'm just bringing the hands around, and I'm just going to encourage some heat through the back as well. This should make us feel quite warm. If you've got quite a plasticky kind of top on, you might get a little bit of static from this. Make sure that you put your hands on the floor afterwards, otherwise you'll touch something, you can get a little shock. But if you've got a cottony top on, then you should be completely fine. And we're just going to keep working that down into the hips till we come to the top of the legs. And I'm just shifting my hips a little bit as I do it, because it just helps me to release my hips. I hold tension in my lower back, so that helps me to release just a little bit. So you might want to have a bit of a shake too. I'm just doing that by bending my knees and shaking my hips to the side and trying to imagine as much loosening and letting go as possible, and that just helps me to relax and just release a bit of tension. So coming back to the top of our legs, we're going to work down with our massaging back to our heel of the hand and our fingers, and we're just going to massage down the leg one at a time. And take this at a pace that you need. Like I said, if one leg's more sore than the other, if the calves on your leg are more sore than the top, then spend a little bit longer there. Do what works best for you. Take this and make it work for what you need to do it today. So keep working down. You might want to stay up like I am, massaging the foot, or you might want to come down onto the floor and just spend a little bit of time on the bottom of your leg. It might be useful to come down onto the floor or to sit on a chair even, just so you can access it a little bit better. And again, trying not to poke too much, but really trying to squeeze and encourage some shifting. There might be a bit of stagnant feeling in our legs, especially if we've been sat down a lot, so really working in here on all areas. Be careful around the knee, don't squeeze the knee. I'm just giving it a good rub here to encourage some heat. And then we're going to work down into the ankle. I'm just giving it a very gentle rub and a squeeze. Down the back of the foot is also very nice. Make sure you can see me. Good. And then we're just going to give our foot a little bit of a massage as well, make sure you can see. So I'm just going to work with my thumbs into the bottom of the foot. Good. Working into the toes, giving them a little bit of a wiggle. And you can do the same thing that we did with our hands if you want to. I know sometimes feet is not great for people, but you can give the toes a little bit of a pull. If you don't want to, then just keep massaging your foot. If you prefer to have socks on, then please obviously wear socks. Make it work for you. Moving on now to the other leg. So starting at the top, working from the top, really working into those thigh muscles. They're absolutely massive, and we take them for granted. You might feel quite tender on the inner side, so please be careful. Good. Moving all the way down, like I said, being careful at the knee, just encouraging a little bit of heat there instead. Good. And if your calves are a little bit more tender, you might want to spend longer there. But today, obviously, I'm just quickly taking you through the exercise, make it work for you in your own time, in your own space. Moving down through the ankle and into the foot again with the thumbs. Moving it around. And if anywhere's tender, you might want to stay there a bit longer. You might need to be more gentle. There might be a spot that you need to put a little bit more pressure into. You know your body better than anyone, so just listen to it and make it work for you. Working into the toes if you want to, of course, you don't have to. Make it work for you. Good, lovely. And then just coming back up, if we've stayed down or if we're already up, just bringing ourselves back together. You might want to give your hands a little bit of a wipe if you don't like your feet. I don't mind. Like I said, please do wear socks if you would prefer to as well. So we're just going to continue the last couple of minutes with a little bit more full-bodied movement. I'm feeling so much looser already, just those small little bits, so they do really help and they don't take long at all. You might just decide once in the morning, I'm gonna go in for a nice little shoulder and arm, and then once in the evening, I'm gonna do my legs. And that might be enough for you. And just paying those little few moments of attention really do make a huge difference. So, like I said, let's do some more gentle movement here again. I'm gonna widen my legs this time, so I feel like I need to be scooping some more energy in. So I'm just gonna go with a nice clear and a big scoop up, and I'm gonna breathe in as I do so, stretching out, and I'm gonna release everything out. And again, I'm gonna bend the knees, stretching up, stretching through the waist if we want to, and breathing out. One last time, let's stretch everything up, nice and tall. Stretch, stretch, stretch through the sides, and breathing out. Good, now I'm just gonna have a nice side stretch here. I feel like I've been in a nice parallel forward facing position, staring at my screen all day, so sometimes it's nice to mix that up a little bit, stretch out the sides. Let's just do one more on each side, nice and gentle. We're not going to stretching overly far. We're just doing it so it's nice and bringing some space into the body. You should still feel very relaxing. Good, I'm just going to bring that forward. I'm just going to have a forward fold with my wide legs. And I'm going to relax my head and relax my arms. Slight bend in the knee. Just have a few breaths here. Any wiggles you want to. Releasing the neck and the head. And heel toeing the feet back in. So we're over our legs. Bending knees to roll up. Find those shoulder blades on the back. Let's just give the arms and the legs a little bit of a shake. Fabulous. Let's give the shoulders a little bit of circle behind. Good. Let's draw them up to the ears one last time. Last thing we'll do together. Breathing out. Dropping them down. And just spending our last few moments closing the eyes if you would like to. If you don't want to close your eyes, just lowering your gaze to the floor. Bringing the attention inwards a little bit. Hopefully we feel a little bit more space in the body now. Hopefully you've released a little bit of tension. Please take this exercise and do it as much or as little as you want to. Opening the eyes again, coming back together. Lovely. Thank you for joining me today. Like I said, this does bring us to the end of our session. Please go on to enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully we've encouraged a little bit of relaxation through releasing some tension. So please follow through with that into your weekend. Take it as much or as little as you want to. If you've got somebody at home with you, you might want to encourage them to do this with you at the same time. Thank you again for joining. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and we'll see you next time. Bye.